Hello friends, Grandpa Grit here on the Grit and Grunt channel. Thanks for joining me today. It is Saturday, July 1st, 2023. It's the morning here, about 10 minutes after 9 a.m. And I just wanted to give you a progress report for the week. This is the week 13, ending week 13, I should say. And I weighed in this morning at 163 pounds. So that means I've actually gained 1 pound back. I was down to 162. Now I've bounced back to 163 pounds. And a little disappointed in that, but I know I was eating a little bit extra this week. It hasn't been the greatest of weeks. Started out the week very tired and skipped the Monday workout after taking Sunday off. So I had 2 days off. But then I have done the Bowflex routine every week or every day of the week this week, and I plan to do it again today after this video. But today I thought I'd go through some of my stretching and warm-up activities on the mat here. So I brought the mat down to the basement, and I'm going to show you what I do for stretching and warm-ups and some core work. It was a tough week, so to continue the progress report, it was a tough week. I had problems with my left forearm being tender and the elbow. That is slowly recovering, but it's still a little bit sore. And then last night I had my right arch and my right ankle very stiff this morning. So I'm kind of leaning back on it right now, trying to stretch it out, but it is extremely tender. I've been limping around all morning, and so struggling with that. I'm hoping the warm up and some of the stretching here helps. But I'm going to go through what I do as a normal routine in the morning or before I work out. Anyways, like I said, for some stretching and warm ups. So the first one I want to show you is my hurdler stretch. I'm going to turn this way. So one leg goes out front, one leg goes back behind. You can see my foot back here all the way behind my rear, and I keep one hand out while I stretch forward. Generally hold that for 30 seconds, and then I'll switch sides. So I'm going to let that stretch for just a moment here. And again, I'm very, very stiff this morning, so it's been a tough week. I've been tired all week. Had the various sore areas, like I said, the left forearm and left elbow, and then now the right ankle and right arch, very sore and tender. I do have fibroma on the bottom of my feet. That's a couple of lumps there. It's a buildup of tissue on the ligaments. I think that's due to the amount of walking I do. I have a very active job, and I do a lot of walking, and that's probably contributing to the arch and ankle pain today. So now I'm doing the other side of the hurdler stretch, stretching forward a bit, but I'm not feeling very limber at all this morning. Fortunately, all the Bowflex exercises that I do don't involve me standing on my feet, so I should be able to accomplish those without an issue. So I plan to do that. Okay, so there's one of the stretches that I do, the hurdler stretch. And again, you can alternate back and forth, side to side. You can hold this. I generally hold this 30 seconds to a minute, but sometimes I'll go even longer, especially when I'm very stiff like today. And usually I can touch my toe, no problem. Touch my toes. Okay, and then back the other side. And I may do more stretching after the video here, but just giving you an idea of what the stretching routine is like and the warm-up routine. So hold that just a bit longer, give those muscles a chance to stretch out a bit. And if I'm feeling particularly stiff, I can get into one of my warm-ups here. This is a a lying pelvis lift, and it's supposed to be for the lower back. So if I lie down flat, generally put my hands at my side. Now I'm just going to lift the pelvis all the way up as far as I can. That's for the buttocks and the lower back. I can feel that. I got this exercise from my nephew while I was visiting out west during the vacation I had about a month ago at the end of May. So this is a nice warm-up. You can just do them nice and slow. Hold when you're in the up position. And you can do do several sets of these. It does help loosen up the leg muscles a little bit, warm them up as well, especially in the thighs. I can feel it. So there's the pelvis lift I do as a warm-up and a back exercise. Good lower back exercise. Really activate those muscles. Try to activate those muscles when you're doing this. So there's one of my warm-ups. All right, next thing, let's see here. To help those ankles right now, and as a calf stretch, just do kind of calf stretch like this. Hold that for 20 to 30 seconds. And go back down on your knees, and then also you can bend your toes a bit too. That'll stretch out the feet, the arches. Okay, and then back up. Now we're stretching the calves, the back of the legs. All right. Stretch the back out just by leaning back, pulling back, stretching the arms. Another thing I do is generally in this position is I just sit back on the feet to stretch the ankles, the upper ankles. You can pull back a little bit too. That puts a little bit more pressure on them. So that right ankle is really hurting, but not too bad in this position. It hurts more when I try to stretch it the other way from the underside there. The top side isn't too bad right now. And then once I end the video, I'm going to do a bit more of this before I do my Bowflex routine today. Okay. So let's see. Okay, now for the hips, I do a forward hip pull. And this will also stretches out the ankles and the calves while I'm dropping my leg back, putting my knee into the pad here, into the mat, and then just pulling forward and pulling that hip joint open. You can hold that for 20 to 30 seconds and alternate sides. And generally, just the longer you hold these, the more you will feel your muscles and joints and tendons loosening up. Never go too far to the point of pain, severe pain anyways. You're probably going to feel a little bit of pain. Okay, this one's going to be hard doing on this side because this is where the ankle is really sore, but I'm going to go ahead and try to put a little pressure on it, get it loosened up. And I find for the issues like that, there's nothing quite like stretching and just trying to work it out. I don't know if I've got something a little more clinical going on in there. But at any rate, stretching it out as much as you can and utilizing it. It's just kind of like that shoulder. I had that frozen shoulder for 2 years, and I just had to keep busting those adhesions. Yes, it was very painful, but in the end, I was able to reestablish my range of motion and my strength in that joint. Okay. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to go back on my ankles a second here. Let's see if there's anything else I've forgotten. But those are the basic stretching routines. Oh yeah, I've got one more for the hips. Just stretching those ankles again here a moment. Okay, now for that was the prior one was for the inner hip. This is for the outer hip. So you just angle your leg, one leg to support, and then the other leg to pull back. I generally use one hand on the knee, one hand on the ankle, and pull towards my upper body and across. And you'll feel it in the outer hip. I'll show you on the other side when I get over there. And again, just pulling up and across, and I can feel it. Now the other side. Okay, one hand supporting the knee, one hand pulling on the ankle. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to stretch the hip right there on this side. Now we pull the ankle over. So I'm pulling the ankle over and across and the knee up and across as well. And I'm feeling the stretch right in the outer hip here. Okay. Like I said, after I stop the video, I'll do a few more of those, but I don't want to bore you. But I did kind of want to show you my routine. And then, of course, I can do these on the Bowflex as well. But then there's just the standard plank. This is kind of nice because I can also stretch out the arches. If you look at my feet, you can see they're stretching. Stretch out the arches, the toes, and the calves a little bit while holding the main part of the torso. This gets both abdominal muscles and back muscles. And it's also a good warm-up. And of course, then I also do just light stretching of the arms. I'll pull the arms back to loosen the shoulders. I have my hands together and I'm lifting up. So that's one way to loosen up the shoulders. And of course, I can do torso just by doing your side stretches back and forth. It's also lifting the shoulder, loosening the shoulder up, warming those muscles up a bit. Oh, let's see if there's anything else I normally do. We'll do that. I guess that's about it. I can't think of anything else. I guess I've shown you everything at this point. I do a little neck rolls and loosening of the neck by tucking the chin in and loosening those muscles in the back of the neck, kind of rolling that up. So that is my normal stretching, core, and light workout to kind of prepare myself for the Bowflex, make sure I'm loose and warmed up. So now, like I said, I'll stop the video. Thanks for joining me today, and I'm going to go ahead and finish up my stretching routine, my warm-ups, and then hit the Bowflex Again, it is Saturday, July 1st, the end of week 13. I weighed in at 163 pounds. So I actually gained 1 pound this week. Now, of course, like I said, it was a bad week. I was feeling tired all week. I'm dealing with a couple of sore spots. I don't want to call them injuries, but they're just soreness that have developed. I didn't do anything in particular, and I don't even know why I'm experiencing the soreness that I am and the tenderness in the joint. So, but the nice thing about the Bowflex, again, it's like non-impact. So this should not slow me down at all as far as continuing to do my Bowflex exercises. Right now with the ankle and the arch being sore, I certainly can't run. Still doing the inversion table crunches. That's no problem at all, and that takes all the weight off of the ankle. So thanks for joining me again. Have a wonderful holiday weekend. And this is Grampa Grit on the Grit and Grunt channel, and we'll see you on the next video.